Okay, I'm back with my third episode of Realm Grinder. I have to explain this at the start of every VOD for people watching on YouTube. I am playing 4 idle games at the same time. Realm Grinder, Idle Loops, Idle Superpowers, and today we're trying Unnamed Space Idle. So if you haven't watched this series before, there's going to be cuts every time that I switch back to this game, and you'll see on the live split timer how much time passed in between. I'm just going to be switching whenever I hit a progression wall. Okay, offline production. You've been away for more than 1 month. No kidding. It's been about 9 months. I produced 4.51 Tredecillion. I actually don't know what TD stands for. 5 billion faction coins, a lot of mana, a lot of clicks. Okay, so I haven't played this game in a long time, and it's probably prudent to go ahead and reset again, if only to just remind myself how a lot of this works. I can see if there's stuff that I can immediately buy. Unpurchased upgrades. Dwarf. Can I literally not afford any of them? Because that would be quite funny. Increase the production of evil buildings by 50%. Oh, I'm much higher than all these values. Okay. Don't know that I need to bother with Royal Exchange, right? I already did buy all. I can abdicate, which is our prestige reset. Excavation. Max 0. 35% for 1,500 faction coins. There's no info on your latest expedition. What's the time-gated thing that I'd like to do? Review what all my trophies are here. Save the rest of my stuff before I click anything. I guess I just try it. May as well dump on this, right? Piece of bark. You found your first ruby. Rubies are a rare and special resource that you can use to buy very powerful and unique perks. Open the upgrades panel. Ruby power. Unlocks the power of rubies, increasing the production of all buildings by 100%, allowing you to purchase many upgrades which increase all aspects of your production. Ruby power bonus will increase based on an all-time amount of rubies you collected. Visit the shop to purchase more. Okay. Also open the Ruby upgrades container in the upgrades panel and pick specific bonuses that will help during your production. Let's see, so we have assistance, we have mana regen. Only obtain them the first time you reach specific excavation amounts during seasonal events or through the Royal shop. So is that like a microtransaction thing where you can like pay for that? Guess if I'm playing manually on stream, I probably want mana regen, but mana regen is useless to me when the game is turned off or when I'm tabbed out of it, so I guess I'll just do assistance because that's the most straightforward thing. Okay, I wouldn't want to mess with ruby upgrades. Okay, I wouldn't want to mess with microtransactions at all. That doesn't sound fun to me. Okay, permanently unlock the Titan faction. Oh, these are new factions basically. That's kind of cool. Druid faction. Faceless faction. Huh. Okay. Alright, so I had some shenanigans here where it was like instantly gain 30 seconds of production. I don't think nighttime is like super great, super effective in terms of what it's producing for me. 36 hours without abdicating. Okay. Probably going to abdicate here in a second. I may as well just spam excavate until I run out of money before I abdicate, right? These are finding faction coins primarily. Unique artifacts or excavations. Okay. Hopefully I didn't miss out on some of those. Chocolate cookie. Okay. So you got your cookie clicker reference. That's cute. I guess I was supposed to buy that upgrade first before spending all my money, so I think we're basically donezo there. Why would you reset excavations? I don't think I encountered this mechanic at all before. I guess it's time to abdicate then, because I don't have anything else to do. Shuts all buildings. So if I do gem conversion, gain gems without resetting. All right, so I get to pick a faction here soon. I want to try one of the ones I just unlocked, obviously. Okay, unlock the power of gems. Call to arms was increase the production of all buildings based on the amount of buildings you own for 20 seconds. It doesn't reset until a later mechanic, okay. Get some like actual reduction here. Okay, that makes more sense. I'm like, why do I not have a lot of coins? In a region. Proof of neutrality. Neutral features. Evil, good. Okay, I've done a mix of both. I haven't done neutral before. Those are all the new ones I just unlocked. Okay. Pick all these guys up. And am I going to need a certain number of faction coins to be able to actually choose one of them, I suppose? Titans, Faceless, Druids. Boost every aspect of your economy to unimaginable values. Magic capabilities and reward balancing of all things. Past choices while giving progressively better bonuses. Like, I want to try the Faceless. Is there one that I definitely should or shouldn't do? Gem grinder. Interesting. Yeah, there was only one faction we encountered before that was like dangerous to pick at the beginning because it was so inefficient compared to the other ones, right? Are the neutral factions a relatively recent addition to the game, or have they been around for a while? Yeah, we did Demon last time because I had such a long gap in between sessions. Get this to usually spending more time on Realm Grinder before switching just because there's a lot to do right after an abdication. I'll try to get to a point where it feels like I'm stalling out and then switch. Need Fairy and Undead. Okay, so these factions still use the same faction coins, but it uses like combines two other factions. So is there a new neutral faction for every possible combination of two coins? Interesting. Dead Heritage. But they're also like way cheaper to activate, it seems like. Oh no, it's only because I so these are the only three I can get. It would always cost me 250 or maybe 500. But because I selected neutral, that's only offering those three as choices. Okay. Chance to find faction coins is improved, and that's convenient. Let's see. Let's try the Faceless. Okay. Increase production of labyrinths based on the amount of assistance you own. Highest amount of labyrinths you built this reincarnation. Increase assistance based on the time spent on your longest game session in this reincarnation. That's got to be pretty crazy, right? That's labyrinths. Okay. So these heritage these are coins that I unlocked from playing as these in the past, right? So I can just take those safely. It doesn't cost me anything. Friendship Pact. Unlock Faceless upgrades. Okay. Increase production of neutral buildings based on gold owned. That's interesting. Additional assistance. Increase production of all buildings based on the highest amount of buildings purchased in a single game. Okay, so this is a good one because it's based on everything I've done up to this point, even in past runs, I guess, is the idea. Assistance you own. Increase the production of all buildings based on the amount of time spent affiliated with the Faceless. Well, that's not going to be as good, but it persists through reincarnations, which is nice. Highest amount of buildings purchased in a single game. It's a cool character concept. I like it. Unlock all of those. That's good. Okay. Yeah, I kind of need like... I think I need a scientific notation in this game because I really have a bad sense of how much better I'm doing, how many like orders of magnitude I am above from the last time I was playing. Okay. 2% per second for 10 minutes. That's kind of cool. My mana is already like almost infinite. Wow, that's nuts. How did I get such ridiculous mana regen all of a sudden? It's like I've got an entire new like tier of mana regen, it feels like. I can just like start spamming tax collection instead of actually clicking. That's pretty funny. That's insane. Is that only if I'm playing as the Faceless from now on? So Brainwave gets pretty crazy when it's almost out, I guess, is the idea. 500 Halls of Legend. Could literally like spam click tax collection, and that's a more efficient way to make money. It's pretty funny. Gotta find something to spend this like new regime of mana regen on. I don't even know what to spend it on. I still can't afford to excavate, I guess. I've already done a lot of expensive excavations. Okay. Well, sure, I can imagine it's crazier than this for people who played more of the game than I have. That's not terribly surprising. Okay. Oh, this one, Royal Exchange. Forgot about this, thanks. I really don't have anything else to spend faction coins on now except for that, right? I may as well just get in here every so often and hit go. A good call. $600 labyrinths, you say? Haven't yet completely stalled out. At some point I'll stall out and then I'll switch here. Now I can afford to excavate. Eligible artifacts 4 means that oh, that's pretty nice. Increased production by trophies unlocked. That means there's how many things I can find each time I click, and once that gets down to 0, I need to like pay for an upgrade to get more eligible unlocks. I feel like I screwed up by hitting excavate too many times, not realizing I couldn't dig anything up anymore, because I can't turn the clock back on that, right? Well, I will be able to later, but I got a ways to go until it's going to let me do that, it sounds like. I'll play until this brainwave runs out, and then I'll activate another brainwave, and then we'll move to the next game here. Those are getting so expensive I can't even get one at a time, I see. 700 farms. This guy's up to 586%. Neutral validation. Increase all neutral buildings production by 100%. Okay. Try to get to 700 of every building if possible. I see. Okay, but I shouldn't keep I shouldn't keep excavating whenever it gets to 0, right? Because then I'm increasing the cost of future excavations for no reason, basically. Fossilized rodents. Increase clicking reward by 10% for each artifact you discovered. I guess that gem reward is kind of mid at the moment because I don't really have... I only have the 1 gem bonus right now, right, is the idea. Okay. Let's see. It's really hard for me to tell if one of these upgrades that makes a building more efficient is actually going to functionally matter. I think frequently the answer is no, it can't possibly, because the general numbers are so high. Yeah, maybe there's an option to turn on scientific notation. Brainwave is running out soon, so we want to try to get as much stacking benefit from it as we can. And once it runs out, I'll reactivate it and we'll switch to the next game. How do I do that again? Oh, control click. Problem is if I turn on tax collection, then I'll never have mana. But I guess I can have that to do something while I can't like order it to say only auto cast this if these aren't available, right? What I want to do is I want it to cast this first. Yes, this, and then this, and then this, and then this. So that says as long as this is on... If this isn't on, it'll save mana until it can cast it, basically. So I don't have to be clicking them all the time. Okay, gotcha. I'll leave that as a future Marstead note to myself. Realm Grinder... Control click spells to auto cast them instead of microing for no reason. Gotcha, thank you. This is like a completely different mana regime that I was in previously. It's kind of fucking ridiculous, to be honest. I think I'm able to afford any of these guys. Contingency autocasting allows you to set a minimum amount of mana before starting to autocast. Huh. I guess that doesn't really matter right now. Unlock the trophy Spell Prodigy. Probably as good as we're going to get. I'm guessing Brainwave falling off is why things seem like they've substantially slowed down here, so I'll let that tick. I guess at some point I might need to like keep track of when Brainwave is about to be available, and then Alt-tab back into it and play this one some more, but I'm going to go ahead and swap now. All right, Realm Grinder. What the hell is going on over here? So probably want to pick stuff over here. Contingency autocasting seems useful, but not for my current plans, right? Because right now there's nothing that I need contingency autocasting to be able to do, right? Because I have my mana regen is so like comically high. I guess I could excavate because I know excavation is a pretty substantial source of new resources. But I think I can afford to do all these without really affecting my coin total. Okay. I can do all these. May as well. This gets pretty expensive pretty fast. I didn't find anything. Okay. Let's see. Land autocasting. I'll use like primary and secondary spells to work with your contingency settings. Primary spells fire once your contingency has reached its threshold. These are active. Secondary spells set with the gold icon on the spell tooltip. How is this different than my current thing? It's adding more programming options for spells is the idea. I'm wondering if I already ought to abdicate here. There's not too much else I can do. I think I've already unlocked stuff that's going to help me out in future runs. This Faceless Heritage is what lets me pick up the coin in future runs, right? Maybe abdicating is the way to go. I don't know. No real reason to click as far as I can tell, since tax collection is such a huge percentage of my potential income here. Second. Either of the two neutral heritages. So abdicating would be what would let me get them, is the reason to consider doing that. Okay. Well, I got nothing else going on, so it's probably time to do that. Haven't dug up another one of those yet. Select something here. Neutral again. Startup's still a little bit annoying. And it's interesting that the excavation cost is persistent when you switch between abdications. You can reset it, but it's like expensive to do. Yeah, I wonder if spending the ruby on that is better than getting the assistant, because the assistant seems like it's a really mild increase, even with gem grinder. Substantially less in the way of mana this time. It's kind of funny. Really just gives me production, not the insane like infinite mana I was getting last time. So I'm wondering if the other heritages can even compete in terms of output. And like come kind of close. Got a lot of clicking to do. Sure. Is there like a minimum amount of time before abdicating makes sense, or can I just get the unlock and then instantly abdicate when I get it? May as well try this one. Titans. Okay. The buildings you own. Clicks made in the game, in this game. That's kind of an interesting idea. Lightning Strike. Iron Strongholds are the main favored building. Okay. Titan upgrades, deep mines, active spells. Oh, that'd be nice to carry over. Can't. Angels, elves. Try that lightning strike here. It is kind of interesting. So if you go absolutely ham on clicks, you can get like completely ridiculous mana regen. That was even competitive with what I got for free from the Faceless earlier. It's too bad that's not like lifetime clicks, it's clicks from that game. Geologist. Titan upgrades. Assistance costs more. All Legends building cost multiplier. Some of these I'm going to want to buy. Yeah, I'll try to get Titan and Druid, and then I'll go back to Faceless, and then we'll tab back out of Realm Grinder, I guess. This requires 25,000 Undead, 25,000 Fairy, 25,000 Angel, 20,000 Goblin. The highest amount of buildings purchased in a single game. Okay. Which would have been my last run, not this run, obviously, but... So the ones I need are Angel and Goblins. I can sell everything else. There we go. Titan Heritage. Early exchange production bonus by additional 15% each. I see. Get what I can get here. Oh, so I need to re-unlock auto spellcasting every time. Okay, I don't think I appreciated that before. So here I should just abdicate, right? Because there's not really too much else I can get that's helpful right now. What makes them RNG dependent? Lightning Strike? Like based on what buildings it targets? So if it hits Hall of Legends, you're golden, but... I think I just abdicate, because I don't think I'm going to get much further with this guy. Abdicate. Go. That's fine. Turn off by smart. By all. Coins back up. So if I hadn't have done so much excavation, I could use excavating here to get a bunch of faction coins without having to do so much clicking early on to spin up much more quickly at the beginning, I guess. I guess misplaying with excavate is a way you can really substantially misplay, it feels like. You could lose a lot of time to not understanding how that works. I think clicking excavate a bunch of times with all of my offline production when I had already done all of the possible excavations that didn't pick up the trivial unlock was a giant time waste over the course of many hours of playing this game. So we got Druid this time. Yeah, it's a good idle game. Getting close. Elves and demons, okay. There we go. Increase reduction of all buildings based on their tier, giving the best bonus to the lowest. That's pretty interesting. I guess that's why it's a balance. 3 animal assistance. Faction coin, find chance, additively multiplicity based on the number of buildings you own. Grand balance, 1,000 mana. Increases the production of your least productive buildings based on the amount of the 3 most built ones for 20 seconds. Deep mine is my least productive. Okay. Try to let mana build up to that. Friendship Pact is 2,500. I don't really have a substantial source of extra coin generation, which kind of sucks. Gotta do it the old-fashioned way here. I need elf and demon. It's going to be deep mines, right? But it won't be deep mines anymore after I buy that. So now it's stone pillars. I see. Now it's deep mines again, okay. Let's try it. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. It's a pretty substantial increase. If I could pull a tax collection while that's running, that would be really swell. I don't think I really have a way to get faster demon and elf coins here. Gotta go ham on clicking. I can get there. Definitely I'm not gonna be able to afford any kind of excavating for an extremely long time, at least not until I get back to Faceless. Faceless being able to just like auto cast tax collection every multiple times a second was a regime of play I didn't think was possible in this game. That was totally crazy. Guess Faceless and Titans both made it so I could get tons of coins really quickly immediately after swapping to them. Try to let Grand Balance become available again. I really like that idea of the Titans getting more mana regen based on clicks, but I'm actually wondering if this game has design space, because like everything is supposed to be an auto clicker. Like the whole idea of buildings in the first place in an idle game is that they click for you. It's something that causes artificially your number of manual clicks to inflate without you actually having to click. Be interesting. Does it count towards Titan's increased mana per second? Didn't seem like it was going up when I wasn't clicking. It's hard to not take the faction that cares about things that happened in other runs. Okay, 700 more to go. This is my assistant count down here. Okay. Did I get something that grows my assistant count somehow? Time spent in game, okay. That's time spent in this run, not all abdications to date. Titans, I was able to get the next upgrade like instantly as soon as I clicked on it. Get carpal tunnel over here. It's climbing at a reasonable pace. Should do the thing where I use both of my mice, one from my other computer and this computer. Let me do that really quick. I'm almost done, but okay. Now I can do 2 fingers. All right. Increase max mana base, the highest amount of stone pillars you've built in this reincarnation. Oh, wow. Getting max mana increase is kind of a big deal. More mana regen based on the amount of assistance you own. Okay, still not quite what we had last time, but it's pretty crazy. 10,000 Elven, 10,000 Druid. I guess I can activate Grand Balance twice now. Dual-wielding mice. Let me pick these up again. Elven and Demon is what we want to sit on. Now I can control click this guy, right? Make sure he goes off whenever he runs out. Let's see what other shit I can get now. $1 million coins in 5 minutes without gem power. So don't click on Ruby upgrades, or what do I click on in order to make sure I get that? Can't search for specific ones, right? Perfectly good. Doesn't look like it if it's under the secret list. I do like the idea of mana regen increasing based on number of followers. It wasn't increased neutral building protection by 100%. It's not on my secret trophy list. There's something called speedrun. So I abdicate and then don't click on the ruby icon and then just try to get as many points as I can within the first few minutes. That doesn't surprise me. So I can activate that then and say only activate tax collection if grand balance and call to arms are on. I think I'm reading that right. The ruby icon and the gem icon are different things. Okay, so don't click gem power when I restart next time. Try that. By stacking this with gem grinder at the same time, let my mana max out. So then I can do grand balance, gem grinder, call to arms, and probably proc a tax collection. The Druid's way harder at the start to just catch up than either of the other two, but maybe the idea is that if you let your game run long enough, it gets really good. I guess my assistant count's getting relatively high over time. What, when I go to turn the game off for, you know, the long period between this episode and the next episode, what faction should I be turning it off on? The demons that's the best at offline accrual? It's mines again. I see. So this contingency autocasting makes more sense now. So contingency autocasting is for Druid, so that you only cast Grand Balance Gem Grinder when you have the requisite mana, I guess. Didn't make sense when I first saw it. There's all kinds of things you can buy to upgrade things, leave Elven alone, and Demon alone. 7,000 more coins. Druid is real slow. Faceless is stronger. You are that faction that includes offline time, I guess. Guess maybe it wouldn't be terrible to idle on Druid, because Druid will get more and more assistance, which are more and more clicks, which are more and more passive faction coins. But it seems like if I don't click, faction coins accrue very slowly. It's like 7 at a time. So I'd like to just take care of that, basically. So there's no light at the end of the tunnel to do this any faster, is there? Because I'm nowhere near being able to excavate, and there's nothing else I can really do to speed things up. I guess I keep exchanging away these instead of buying the heritage. For some reason I spaced on that, that's my bad. Getting some of those might make a difference. Yeah, the Elven heritage in particular. Is it worth buying that? Because it's halfway to the one that I actually need to unlock. I don't know if that's... It's really hard for me to eyeball from the tooltip if like 5% increased chance to get faction coins means that because of a bunch of other stacking buffs that it's going to get me faction coins substantially faster. If I should just hang in there for 10,000. I'll get 5,000 for the other ones though. I spaced on picking those up. I think they're all basically just production though, so I think it's going to make a huge difference. Careful, shouldn't take the demon one. That's fine, that's fine. They're very expensive though. Hey kitties. Ben and Marty are cleaning each other. Very cute. Where can I see the number of... I only have one ruby, right? Down in the bottom left corner. I see it now. I want to take them, but I think it's better to hold out here. I feel like smarter use, careful use of excavation to get faction coins seems pretty important. Since if you already have a run where you're guaranteed to abdicate soon, probably better off saving the excavations for the next run to get through this period more quickly. But I guess both Faceless and Titans had some kind of faction coin solution that made this not take 20 minutes or however long. Okay, still going on the deep mines. That makes it... based on the amount of the 3 most built ones. So I should further build my cheapest buildings. Right. The extra assistance from Faceless were from prior runs, I guess. Oh wow, yeah, that's pretty wild. Getting close to 5,000 for the other factions here. Screwed up on the free exchange, but I don't think it would have made too big of a difference. It might have let me buy some more buildings here. What's this guy do? Command your expedition to search the underworld. Like increasing production by % per assistant. The Druid one of the only ones that actually generates assistance. Like over time, I know that there's some that gives you an immediate burst of assistance. Close to unlocking something here. Back to clicking with 2 mice. Undead also does assistance over time. Goblin heritage, angelic heritage, fairy heritage, undead heritage. Yeah, not making a substantial difference on faction coins because none of them interacted with that at all, but that's okay. Extra mana multiplier is nice, at least. I almost on the elf and the demon. That would have been very sad. And that's Druids Alliance, which isn't even Druids Heritage, so... Oh, really? I just have to... Unlock that threshold. What is this guy? I guess we'll see what upgrades are locked behind that. I could see my clicks per second somewhere when I'm using 2 mice at the same time. Almost there. May have made more sense for me to alt-tab out. It's okay. So close. 600 to go. Any assistance does this give me? Based on time spent in this game. So how many is it per? It's got to be like 1 per minute or something. It's lesson learned for the future. This is probably a good one to alt tab on. I farm my most productive building now. It's my most expensive building, that's different. Treasure Smasher. That do. Click the background 100,000 times in a single game. Okay, well. Clearly I've clicked a lot here. Finally, alright. Non-unique building production based on tier, giving the best bonus to the lowest. Use mana regeneration based on the highest amount of stone pillars you built in this reincarnation. Increase the production of each building based on the amount of buildings of the same type. Okay. Now I have Druid Champion, so Druid Heritage is now unlocked. So I don't need to get that to Abdicate. That's true? Max mana by 1 for every 15 buildings you own. That's pretty substantial for every other character to have that unlocked now. Okay, let me do it now. Then we'll do Faceless. And you said we don't want to do... Shit, I'm going too fast here. Don't want to turn on gems. We can turn on rubies, which is fine. So I have 5 minutes basically. There's not anywhere where I can see the timer for this run, is there? I don't think I was going fast enough when I first started here. Let me just try to get as many unlocks as I can, I guess. Icon down here somewhere. Oh, it's still going while I'm in that screen. Okay. Gotta keep going. I have to get to, is it 1,000,000 coins without gem power in 5 minutes? I guess I could take one of the other factions, right, and then just abdicate immediately to see if they're enough help to get me to finish it more quickly. 1,000,000 total coins or 1,000,000 banked coins? Oh, that's interesting noise. Clicking too much. Where is it in this list? It's this guy. 2 minutes, 51 seconds. So can I do it in 3 minutes? Maybe, actually. That might actually be doable. Total not accrued. Okay, so that can probably be done. So what else is carrying over that's making this possible compared to just doing it the first time you ever boot up the game, right? Okay. And I'm able to buy those essentially. I'm worried that it's 1,000,000 accrued and not a million total. Speedrun, hey, thank you. Oh, that's pretty fucking ridiculous. Okay. Thank you for convincing me to do that. That was totally worth it. So now I can just turn this on, right? And it doesn't matter. Okay. That's crazy. I think I was really close too, like, oops. Yeah, I had like 30 seconds to spare, maybe. You really have to click like a madman, it seems like. So is that a purchasable upgrade that's just available almost immediately on future runs now, that I can just get 1,000,000 per click and get started much more quickly post abdication? I guess it doesn't really matter because the gems already help you to do that, but... I want to try to get Faceless up and running, buy everything, Alt tab out, and then we'll go back to idle superpowers. Didn't see that gem potency option. I need this one. Great. Yeah, you're just like, you get it for free, basically. It's kind of crazy. Given how much work I had to put in to get it on the Druid earlier, Jesus. Okay, now I have infinite mana. And I have higher max mana too, which is cool. Try to get to a point where I'm in like a steady state where I'm not getting any new unlocks, and then I'll tab out of here. I guess this character, this faction still doesn't really care about the contingency casting of having to wait to a certain value. So I don't think the extra max mana is helping me unless if I have something else that's triggering based on having something that happens as a percentage of my max mana, which maybe does exist. Land autocasting, assistant syndicate. Oh, I think I'm going to be able to afford to excavate again here soon, but I'd rather do it now because I want to see if I can get another like ruby or something. Is spending rubies on resetting excavations a terrible idea? Because it seems like everything else I can pay for is kind of underwhelming, right? I get like +1 assistant. It is a bad idea. My tax collection is waiting. Oh, maybe it's waiting because of the contingency casting. I guess that doesn't really matter that it's waiting to fill before activating it a whole bunch of times at once. It's not really causing me to lose anything. It's still super expensive. I currently have no other factions to unlock heritages for, right? I have all of the ones currently available to me. I guess it's arguably permanent, right? Because it's letting you do more excavations in the immediate term, which affect all future runs, right? Sturdy, short-statured, bearded individual wants to offer you a quest. Weird. that did that change something somewhere? I don't see what that did. These upgrades, the different quests. Requires evil alignment, requires good alignment. That's pretty interesting. Okay. So this is a reason to play as a different faction, because since I'm neutral alignment, I can't do either of them. I played an enormous amount of leagues, Animal Chin. There's videos for it on my YouTube channel for leagues 1, 2, and 3. Leagues 3, I got Dragon Cup, which like turbo burned me out in the game because that was the league where you could play the entire game. So I did everything there was to do in old school RuneScape at the time. Last year's league I wanted to play, but I couldn't because I was focused on recording RS3 videos, and I'm in the same boat this year. But I should finish my RS3 playthrough this year, and I can play next year's league. We have a discussion channel in my Discord if you're interested in discussing the leagues at all. Pop in there and chime in every now and then. It's definitely, though, that Squidward watching SpongeBob and Patrick having fun meme for me. Yeah, I know. Sounds like it's really good. It might be their best league yet. So should I make a soft plan retro for the next abdication to go back to a good or an evil faction to do these quests, I guess? Kind of interesting idea that it requires you to do a certain number of clicks. Got a ruby. All right, I'm just gonna reset. It being like dirt cheap for a while seems pretty powerful. Maybe I misunderstood. I think I did that wrong then. I thought that that meant that I still had a chance to pull an artifact, but does resetting just give you the faction coins? It doesn't essentially give you more chances to get artifacts until you catch back up to whatever your max excavation value was before? Yeah, I posted a really highly upvoted critique thread of Leagues 3 right after Leagues 3 finished. I think Jagex saw it and implemented just about everything that I complained about with that league, so I'm really glad that they've got their shit together. It sounds like last year's was really good, this one's even better, so looking forward to playing it next year for sure. But I'm like, I don't have any backlog for RuneScape 3 videos. I just finished recording mine for this week today, and I have to publish it on Sunday, so be good to have time for it again. So is the chance based on my current number of excavations? Does the eligible artifact count get higher and higher or something? No, it does not. I'm just playing through it so I can make my video essay on the game, honestly. Doing a sequel to the original video essay. Another abdication button at some point. I think it's probably time for me to click off. I don't think there's anything else substantial that I can unlock here that's really going to make a difference. Yeah, still no artifacts. Okay. All right, that's it for this for now. Okay, we're wrapping up with Realm Grinder over here, giving some notes for future Marstead. Let's see, offline production by 1500%. Probably want to leave it on this rather than abdicate at the last second, right? So future Marstead, really important. You now, on every trek through the game, you are able to unlock this priority auto casting, which lets you control click a spell and tell it the order in which you want it to cast. So here it's saying cast Brainwave, and if Brainwave is already up, cast Gem Grinder, and if Gem Grinder is already up, cast this, and so on. If you're playing as the Faceless, you get so much mana regen that you can just auto cast Tax Collection all the time. There's also a thing here, contingency casting somewhere, that lets you click on the mana somewhere. I think it's control click to disable contingency auto casting, right? So we can turn it off or on. Doesn't really matter for this current setup, but it does matter for other things. It makes it so you can set a specific mana value that it'll build up to before it starts auto casting, which is helpful for like the Druid if you ever play as the Druid again. Excavating is good. Excavating can get you artifacts, which are things that give you permanent progression. No dice this time. Don't forget to do this exchange when you can, because it gives you a lot, especially when you built up a lot of coins and you've got nothing else to spend them on. You have these two quests that require you to play again as an evil alignment or as a good alignment. You can maybe try 7,000 or more buildings. Okay, maybe you can't do that next time. 327 trophies. You have... Are we almost there? Oh, we are there. So you could do the Cloak Shady Figures. 650 Dark Temples. I don't know which one that corresponds to, but given that your shittiest building is 700 in this run, that might be possible with abdicating. It's worth taking a look at. The Faceless is really good because it gives you bonuses based on all the previous time you've played the game, which is why the mana regen rate is so crazy high and everything else is so crazy high. So doing that seems like a good idea and generally pretty productive. You can reset excavation for a ruby, but it seems kind of shitty. You tried doing it, you're like, oh, that seems like it's super worth it, so you can get more artifacts. You just happen to not roll one, which seems like it made it a complete waste of a ruby. So I would go ahead and spend your rubies on assistance, I guess. I think of all of these, the assistant is probably the most interesting. I guess the mana regen might be interesting when you get substantially more rubies, but yeah, go ahead and load in. Probably want to abdicate almost immediately after messing around with this for a little bit. Might want to try to do the Cloak Shady Figures quest, because I think that's doable. 10,000 or more spells cast in this reincarnation is fucking insane, though. Like, that's really doable with this character, with the Faceless, because your mana regen is so high and you're just basically spam casting Tax Collection. Yeah, it's already casted 4,295 times this game. Doesn't this require evil alignment, though? That's why this seems quite hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I guess I do have enough buildings here. 800 more inns. All right, well, we could try... You could try to do... Oh. Okay, I thought reincarnation was abdication. So that's another mechanic that we haven't unlocked, another form of restarting that hasn't been introduced yet. 10,000 or more clicks in this reincarnation. Well, I already have that one. Spells cast this reincarnation 11,000, so I can actually already do that. So yeah, maybe try to do Cloak Shady Figures quest. If you're watching these future Marstead notes, maybe pop in Discord and tag Ravanon and Retro and just ask what faction to play as and if they have any other tips for that run, so you're able to hit the ground running as soon as you start playing. Yeah, you should be good to go with that, I think. Godspeed.